There seem to be two main types of people when it comes to clothing and travel. Those who pack whatever is comfortable and whatever they like to wear at home, and those who optimize for the best weight and performance. While both are totally valid and anyone should do what they want, I am definitely part of the latter category. While I'm by no means an expert, I've built a familiarity on fabrics and clothing from my travels over the years and what they offer while you travel, and I'd like to share that information with you. For the purpose of this video, I'm splitting clothes into three main categories: natural, synthetic, and mixed. Natural fabrics are going to be anything derived from nature. You have plant-based stuff like cotton or animal-based stuff like wool. Synthetic fibers are usually petroleum-based products like spandex or polyester or nylon. And mixed fabrics are the last category, and they are when it's a blend of natural and synthetic fibers. You can consider this like your cotton jeans with stretch included. Each type of fabric has its own advantages and disadvantages for travel. And I'd like to note that the weave of a fabric can make a big difference, but for now I'm just sticking to my general experience with each type of fabric. Let's start with the classic cotton. And the one benefit that I think it really has over anything else is its comfort, but I think it also has a lot of downsides for travel. One being that it's a heavier, thicker fabric, so it's less portable. It's also less quick drying. It's actually a pretty slow drying material, so it's not as good for needing to wash something in the sink and let it hang dry overnight. It might not be dry by then. And the other downsides are that it's pretty warm of a fabric in hot conditions, and if it gets wet, it actually gets pretty cold. It doesn't retain any heat. Linen is another natural fiber that people often use. Its main advantages are that it's light and it's very breathable and very cool. The cons of linen, though, are that it's a bit of a fragile material, and it's stiff with no stretch, and it wrinkles quite easy. Wool, and specifically merino wool, I think is a wonder material. One of its main assets is that it is antimicrobial, so it gets less stinky less quickly. It's also very temperature regulating, which is interesting, where it stays cool in hot temperatures and warm in cold temperatures. Unlike cotton, it also stays warm when it's wet. And I don't know when this would come in handy, but it's also fire resistant. The cons, I'd say, are that it's a bit of a fragile material and it's very heavy when wet and it absorbs water very easily. On to synthetics. When it comes to synthetics, there are many different strands, but they all share very similar properties to me, so as a major oversimplification, I'm going to include them all in the same category. You'll find many travelers that prefer synthetic clothing because of its many pros. I find synthetic clothing to be lightweight, durable, stretchy, moisture wicking, and even comfortable. Fast drying is another huge plus of them. As for downsides, and a bit opposite wool, they can get stinky and actually hold smells longer. When I travel, I prefer to pack a combination of synthetic and wool clothing. I think the perfect garment is a wool synthetic blend where you get the stretchiness and durability of the synthetic plus the antimicrobial and other aspects of wool. I have wool blend shirts, socks, and underwear that I take everywhere. So the properties of something are all well and good, but that doesn't mean a whole lot without factoring price. Here's a list of items from Black Diamond ranging from the least expensive to most expensive. As you can see, the cotton is the least expensive, with synthetic being the mid and wool being the high. Here's a similar list from Patagonia, and you can see how their pricing differs. The cotton is actually more expensive than the synthetic, and I think this has to do with Patagonia's use of regenerative organic certified pilot cotton. And this brings up a major factor in the price of outdoor clothing. A lot of it has to do with sustainability. Patagonia tends to go to extreme lengths to ensure sustainability and environmental friendliness, which drives their prices pretty high. Cheaper brands may have similar quality products that aren't quite as environmentally friendly. I think that touches on an important note, which is the environmental friendliness of different materials. And they all have varying degrees of environmental friendliness, and they almost all seem to have some sort of drawback. Let's just run down the list again, starting with cotton. The main downside to cotton, and any cotton, is that it's very water expensive. To quote Independent on this, it takes between 10 and 20,000 gallons of water to make a single pair of jeans and up to 3,000 gallons to make a t-shirt. So whether it's organic or not, you're getting very water expensive clothing when you're buying cotton. What's nice about organic cotton is that it gets rid of the pesticides that are used in normal cotton. Cotton production actually accounts for more than 1/6 of pesticides usage worldwide. Synthetic clothing has its own environmental considerations. The first is that it's basically a plastic. So whatever plastic waste you get from throwing a water bottle away, you can get from a piece of clothing. And synthetic clothing, when washed, produces microplastics that are released into the water supply. This can be solved with using something like a guppy bag, but it's a consideration. To me, wool seems like the most environmentally friendly on the list because it's renewable and it's biodegradable, but toxic chemicals can be used in the process of preserving the wool. While all fabrics have some sort of environmental impact, the use of recycled materials can be a huge step forward. Now it's pretty easy to find clothing made of recycled materials. Even more important than buying recycled materials is wearing and re-wearing what we already own. Don't go buy something new if you don't need to. If you have something at home and you need to repair it, do that. The less we all shop, the more we are reducing our carbon footprint. And when it's finally time to get rid of our old clothes, please recycle or donate. Nearly any article of clothing in any condition can be recycled or reused somehow. So that's really been it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found the information in it useful. Please hit the like button if you did and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.